What's up? In this video, I'm going to be teaching you some exercises that will help you stand up on your surfboard. So this is the pop-up. It's getting your feet under you, but it's also standing up and getting yourself in a position that's controlled. So you have control of your body, control of your board. What's really cool about learning these things is that they'll help you get past that beginner to intermediate plateau, but they'll also benefit your surfing when you get to the advanced and expert stages. These skills are universal, they're timeless, so if you fix them right now, it'll improve your surfing for the rest of your life. So let's do it. So before you learn any technique, you need a body that's able to do the technique. Number one is flexibility. Because the pop-up is such a deep position, you don't have a lot of space to get your feet underneath you. So if you look, getting my legs up here, knee is all the way up in my chest, kind of in my armpit, foot between my hands, and this one is in a very weird knee cocked position, right? So each leg poses its own problem. So the front leg, if you don't have good flexibility for that one, you'll typically hit your knee, you'll stub your toe, and you won't get it up here. A lot of people though will be able to push off one knee and push it and get their foot like this. But then here's the problem. These toes are facing forward, and this knee, you're in the proposal position, right? So then you're super slow, you're off balance, you end up taking 2 steps, feet are off the center line of the board, so it starts to wobble. Finally get to your feet, the wave's gone, and you haven't made it. So each leg poses its own problem, but a very simple way to look at this is, can you do a deep squat and can you do a deep lunge? So a deep squat, down like this. If you can't do this, your pop-up will be very difficult. Deep lunge is with your knee over your toe and your hamstring covering your calf. Very, very deep. Very hard to do for a lot of people, but stretching will set you free. So for the deep lunge, this is the stretch. But to get here takes a lot, so there's a progression to it. You can do it with your foot elevated, which makes it a lot easier. You can even go higher, put it on a chair, and progress your way down to it. And you have to do both sides, because even though this is just your front foot, you have to have balance in everything, otherwise you'll create problems. So that's the one for that. But to get down into a deep squat, it's really hard for people to get anywhere near here, so that isn't really the best stretch to do it. It has a lot to do with the glutes. So back here, one thing I like to do is you sit seated, you take one knee, cross it over, bring the other foot under your butt, and then you hug your knee. And it's best if you pull it sideways like this. So across your chest, and put your head down, and this is going to stretch the glute right here. This is going to help you a lot. Again, you got to do both sides. And this is great for a pre-exercise warm-up, a regular daily routine, pre-surf warm-up as well. So those are going to help you get deep. So that's flexibility. But if all you had was flexibility, you'd have a big problem as well too. Because if you can get your feet under you, but then you're down here and you have no strength, this is a very deep position, right? It requires very specific muscles, ankle strength, foot strength, all the way up your body to control yourself. But you don't also just want to stay here. You also want to pop up, down low, and then get up into a controlled stance, right? So it's elevating yourself with these muscles. So all your muscles down low like that are under high tension. So it's a very specific type of strength. The best place to start is strengthening your feet. Easiest way to do that is to work out barefoot. But if you're going to strengthen your feet by restructuring them by working out barefoot, it's better to do it everywhere in your life. So wearing barefoot shoes, using these toe spacers right here. So these go between your toes when you work out, so it helps spread them out, and it restructures your foot. It makes it wider, makes it stronger, gives you better balance, but it helps build the muscles in your feet too. Having strong feet gives you the feeling of being attached to your board. So if you fall off lots, this gives you a different kind of grip. So it's very, very important to start by strengthening your feet. Now starting with the feet is super important. I call that ground up strength, because it doesn't matter how much strength you have up here, if your feet fail you, you're still gonna fall over, because that's the base of your foundation, right? So now moving up the body from ground up strength, we're gonna move on to a modified deadlift. But just to explain, I'll show you a traditional deadlift, but how valuable that kind of exercise is, because it's requiring you to recruit the muscles and the balancing systems in your entire body. So when you grip the bar, it's pulling down your shoulders, all your arms, your grip strength, your neck, your head, all the way down through your core, into your hips, to your knees, and your toes. It's almost an entire body exercise, right? And you're pushing yourself away from the ground. So it's giving you control into the ground, actually. So what's really, really cool about the deadlift is if any part of your body has an injury, it will negatively affect it. So if you have an injured toe, it'll make your deadlift worse. Injured knee, injured hip, injured back, injured wrist, injured grip, anything, right? Because it's really recruiting the whole body. Now that's why it's really, really important, because it's like pushing yourself away from the ground, giving that control to stand up. But this one isn't the best workout, I think, because it's very balanced, right? So you want to do things that are off center, because when you're popping up on a surfboard, you're gonna be tipping down the line, you're gonna be tipping over on your rail, you're gonna be chest facing forward a little bit more, rotating, all that stuff, right? So it's important to do off balance things off center when you're working out. So doing a snatch is the best, I find. So this is a 15-pound dumbbell. I typically do it with 35, but when you're doing explosive, fast moving deadlift stuff, it can put a lot of stress straight on your back. So you gotta make sure you have a properly activated core. So it looks like this. Put it between the legs, bend down as much as you can, activate the core, hold your breath, and then up like this. And I find it's really important to look up, because it gives you that much more extension in the workout, right? So it's much more total body. And I like to alternate. So when you do this properly and you're activating your core, the first thing that should burn out is your core, because you're properly protecting your spine. So if you just do, say if you do 10 reps, it's all core, then you do 10 reps here. Now it's like rep 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of your core. So you could be damaging yourself. So I like to alternate like this. So 1, 2, 3. And that way, when the core is done, you don't count reps, you just count to when your core can no longer safely protect your spine, and that's when you rest. Now, it should be, to do it properly, the back should be as straight as possible, but what's important is to create momentum. So it kind of happens in stages, but fluid. So stage 1 is to get to here, but then you also want to be pulling up, so it kind of throws it, right? Looks like that. Very, very important. And that's going to give you, like I said, total body strength, that feeling of being attached to the ground, having muscle from here all the way to here, to here, to here. So no matter what's happening on your surfboard, you're in control of your body, and doing it off center like that. So with your center of gravity is about your belly button, but a little bit lower. So when your center of gravity stays over you, you have more control. So that goes back into flexibility too, right? So if you have bad flexibility, you pop on your board, but you can't get low, all of a sudden your center of gravity is over here, right? And then you're mess. So those things combined, the flexibility, that feeling of being attached to the ground, the strength from top to bottom, is what's gonna help get your feet under you, in control, moving around, all that stuff. Now the final piece is building muscular endurance with your body weight, because that's what you're gonna be working with out in the water. So once you have been doing the stretches, you get down to a deep squat. This is where you're at your weakest, because it takes the most energy to go from here to here, more than it takes to go from here to here. So this is where you need that explosive power and control, because a lot of times for style, you're riding the board kind of low, but also you always start here. So to get from here to here is so important. So body weight in muscular endurance with body weight. So what I'd like to start to do is do deep squats like this, but pulses in that deepest range, right? Starts to burn really, really fast, but then also add a little hop, explosiveness, foot strength, all that stuff. But then next, start going like this. So it's rotational, it's muscular endurance, it's in that weakest zone, it's a body weight exercise. So it's so powerful. That last one, very, very hard, will burn you out very quick. So when you get to your feet, you're down low, you can control that foundation, and it can control any part of your body, control of your body, control of your board, control of what you're doing on the wave. And it will feel so much more normal and natural when you get to your feet, because you've been there so many times before. Now, whenever I share things like this, inevitably people ask, okay, well, how many reps, how many sets? And the answer is, it depends on you. So every person's different. So a good rule is you want to aim for 25 reps plus. The muscular endurance rep range is 25 reps. More is better, especially when it comes to body weight, because if you can carry your body for 100 reps, that's better than 25, right? So aim as a goal to get above 25 for when you're doing your sets, but obviously more is better. This stuff, fitness never ends. And as you become more and more advanced, depends if you're not surfing very much, you'll have to work out more. If you're surfing lots, you can probably get away with working out less, but stretching can and should be done every single day. So you master these things between surf sessions. Each session will be a progression. Your pop will be easier, and then The cool thing about having a great pop-up is your wave count starts to go up, your wave quality starts to go up, your confidence starts to go up, and then you have all those things, huge wave quantity, your skills go up with it. So it's a very, very important skill. Very, very cool that you can improve it when you're not surfing as well too. So that's it. So my name is Kyle Russ. This is Hydro Mind. If you like this video, the easiest, fastest way for you to help me is to click the like button. But also, if you could subscribe, I'd appreciate that too. It's free, it costs you nothing. You can always change your mind. If you're interested in more training, down below in the description, there's a free video. I call it 3 Steps to Thousands of Waves. So it's all the 3 things you need to catch thousands of waves. Hundreds more waves this year, thousands more in your lifetime, and I guarantee that. So it's a free training video down below. All you gotta do is click that link and you can check it out. Thanks a lot for watching.